So right now, there's a rise in opt-out initiatives and movements encouraging artists, writers, other people creating IP, website owners to opt out of sharing data. And these are growing. Open letters to technology tools like data poisoning specifically target LLM training, further limiting accessible training data. So in other words, they're putting their foot down. They believe they're getting ripped off, and maybe they are. And they're saying, if you want access to the information, we're going to disallow it, or we're going to screw you up in some way, shape, or form, based on the poisoning activities. And by doing so, they're going to end up making more rules than they're able to do now. Right now, they're scraped without the permission. And I think those days may be coming to an end. And so we're shifting toward more walled gardens. So more content is moving behind logins, paywalls, or restricted app-based ecosystems, making it inaccessible for crawlers and LLMs, which reduce the breadth and variety of data available for training. Again, if they're only able to get at the data that they're shown or they're allowed to see, then these content producers can introduce biases because they know that the data that they're allowed to see is going to lean a certain direction or push for certain ideas. And the one that they consider is something they don't want them to understand or want them to know, then they're going to put protections on them, put paywalls around them, things like that. So they'll be able to control, if everything kind of goes the way it is now, they're able to control the ability for certain behaviors to be built into these LLMs based on the fact they're only exposing certain types of data. And I think that's going to be a concern if people are using these LLMs, for core business operations. We talked about hiring and firing a few shows ago. If that's going to be the case, then this is going to be a bit of a problem. So as a technical arms race in data protection, LLM developers find new ways to collect data. Website owners respond with more advanced scraping detection and prevention techniques. This will result in a constant battle that ultimately reduces the overall amount of usable training data that's out there. So there's no endpoint where we're not going to have a diminished quality from these LLMs because people are getting wise around the data that they're able to consume. Now, I know, people who use LLMs, and I'm a user of LLMs, and I think most of you are probably users of LLMs, and it's certainly built into everything we're touching these days, word processors, human resource applications, web browsers, everything is AI connected, and typically it's communicating with LLMs at the back end. There may be a time when we can't trust it as much, or we're going to have to put